Men are sacrificing their social life for peace and solitude. Let's get right into it.
Why don't men approach women that they find attractive? And yes, I'm generalizing y'all because it's true. A lot of men don't approach women. If you find a woman attractive, you're not going to approach her.
I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is. They want to go about their day exactly as it is, do whatever they would normally do, and just want somebody there.
Is San Diego in a hot man shortage? Because every time I go out, I went out last night, there is no attractive men whatsoever. Like, not a single attractive man.
I am convinced that these men just don't like women. They just don't like us. Not saying that they like men, but they just don't like us.
I was literally at a restaurant, yeah, and I could clearly tell that this guy that was sitting right there, he clearly fancied me, yeah, because he kept like, I don't know.
Welcome to Masculine Dow.
Yo, I used to be so sad because I used to be like, why doesn't guys approach me? I look great. Why don't guys approach me? But then God reminded me that I prayed that prayer when I said, if anything is unlike you, remove it. And he had to show me that that prayer doesn't only go for the people that are in my life, but the people that are also coming into my life. So really, God isn't allowing people to come into my life that are going to use me, that are going to hurt me, or that simply just aren't like him. It's a little boring, but y'all.
Okay. Make sure the audio is good, and we are about to start. Welcome, y'all, to Logic Over Emotions. We're going to get the party started. Let's get it started in here.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to go ahead and get that together.
All right.
Get comfortable. Get comfortable.
All right. Let's go.
All right. We're good online. We're good online.
You good online?
We're good online.
Okay.
What you...
You know what?
What's wrong? What's happening?
That I had just doggone dropped it, and then it just went on ahead and went off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you just go ahead and start it back over. Or might have get it together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. What's up, everybody? T.Walt is getting his phone together so that he can go live. So thank you for the people that are already tuned in on YouTube. I hope y'all are having a wonderful night. We're gonna get to this. Why do men don't approach? That's what we're gonna do. That's what go ahead and
all right.
No, turn the hourglass.
Oh, my bad.
It's not an hour, but it's
well, you know what? It might be 90 minutes out here. You know, it might be 120 minutes, and messing around.
It says in Proverbs 4:7, wisdom is a principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And all you're getting, get understanding. So let's get understanding. I am your host, Toya V, and the man of the hour is who?
T.Walt.
Yeah. Yes. T.Walt is in the building once again.
No doubt.
One of the regulars on the show. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and play his topic. His topic is about a minute and something. So give us some grace.
Let's do it.
They're sacrificing their social life for peace and solitude. Let's get right into it.
Why don't men approach women that they find attractive? And yes, I'm generalizing y'all because it's true. A lot of men don't approach women. If you find a woman attractive, you're not going to approach her.
I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is. They want to go about their day exactly as it is, do whatever they would normally do and just want somebody there.
Is San Diego in a hot man shortage? Because every time I go out, I went out last night, there is no attractive men whatsoever. Like, not a single attractive man.
I am convinced that these men just don't like women. They just don't like us. Not saying that they like men, but they just don't like us.
I was literally at a restaurant, yeah, and I could clearly tell that this guy that was sitting right there, he clearly fancied me, yeah, because he kept like, I don't know.
Welcome to Masculine Dow.
Yo, I used to be so sad 'cause I used to be like, why doesn't guys approach me? I look great. Why don't guys approach me? But then God reminded me that I prayed that prayer when I said, if anything is unlike you, remove it. And he had to show me that that prayer doesn't only go for the people that are in my life, but the people that are also coming into my life. So really, God isn't allowing people to come into my life that are going to use me, that are going to hurt me, or that simply just aren't like him. It's a little boring, but y'all.
Men are sacrificing.
All right. Ooh. So the comments was pretty heavy. You triggered some people.
Hey, that's what I do apparently.
So tell me,
Well, I trigger
T.Walt,
some folks.
why did you pick this topic?
I picked this topic because I'm really trying to get the root cause of what people be saying. Like I was saying off camera, like a lot of people living in their own different separate realities, which is the reason why I picked this topic. Because think about it, when you just like me, you know, you be out and about. I go to restaurants, I go to the Beltline, I go to the Battery, I go to clubs, the gyms, and I really look at the demographic of women. There's a lot of beautiful women in Atlanta, and there's a lot of brothers. And I'm gonna be honest, I see couples. I legitimately see couples that I'm like, okay, but on one hand, the goalposts is everybody in Atlanta is messing around. Everybody got somebody. They tell me, T, there's nobody single in Atlanta. But then on the other hand,
You look at the dating apps, there's a whole heap of people.
then I'm like, okay, if one is true, then it has to rule out the other. Like, if men are not approaching women, then how's everybody in relationships? People out watching fight, watching the game, wings, eating. And I just wanted to get a root cause on what are some of the demographic of women seeing when they say that. So that's why I did. I specifically wanted the ladies to fill me in on what are we talking about? Men don't approach women. I can understand both sides. I can understand the security and protection side, because there are some crazy stuff that's been happening out here. A lot of crime that's been happening. I know, like a couple of times out of the Beltline has been on the news. A lot of the women, and specifically for some reason, the women has been getting targeted. Guys just been crashing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hear about girl get stabbed to death and beat on and such. So I really understand the dichotomy of the protection and just the unknown. And I think we've gotten to a place amongst women and men specifically, and I'm gonna bring it down, Black women and men, to where we've drove a wedge so far in this ocean that we live in. Now we don't understand why we're not talking to each other when we're out and about, and we're supposed to be single and we're supposed to be ready to mingle. On one hand, women are saying men are intimidated, they're scared. The fellas are saying, like, well, we're trying to fall back and just allow women to show us some type of level of comfort, because we always hear about reading the room, right? If she makes eye contact, if she smile, I know for me personally, like, I can tell when a woman is saying, stay away from me, she's being a little standoffish with a little energy in her demeanor.
A little energy?
Yeah. Yo, I can pick all that up. I have a strong sense of energy. And then I can tell sometimes where I know she's engaging. Let's just say that. She might not be attracted, but she's engaging, which is a wave I can ride into investigating to see if she's interested. So, you know, that's kind of like how I look at it. I come from a time to where before this phenomena of like approaching women to not approach women, I come from a generation and an era to where if I saw women at the mall or the food court back when I was in high school into my early 20s and such and so forth, or at the club, I would say something. She would just have to tell me no. Has there been times to where I went around women and I'm like, man, I'm kind of being a little calculated? Yes. And ladies, you have to understand the male experience. That come from experience. It don't always mean that you scared. Think about it. It's been times where I come to a spot and I sit down and I see a young lady having a cocktail and I'm like, how you doing? You look nice. What are you drinking? And I get right into it.
Right.
If I don't really pay attention to what's going on, I can get jumped or I can get harmed because every guy has a story to what it almost happened. She's just there. Her dude is somewhere at the bathroom or something.
Right.
So,
Right.
ladies, you have to understand the male experience. When we do things, it's not just because we're just scared. It's like a black and white. Men has did so much trial and error to where you kind of have to fall back and analyze and get a little bit of evidence or something that shows that she's willing to just even engage.
Mm.
And then let the magic happen there. I don't care if you sing with her, spit game, or just have a conversation about her hair or how she smells or what she's drinking. So we make things harder than what it really need to be, all because the indoctrination, in my opinion.
Do you think social media messed that up for everybody? Or not? Yes. First, let's talk about that. Do you think social media hurt the dating pool? Or do you think it was COVID?
Okay, that's a very good question. Now, I'm gonna have to answer that in two parts.
Okay.
And in order for me to answer that, I'm gonna have to go into like my case study
Okay.
of personal training. So I started personal training, which is it's a similar formality with getting clients. When I came out of the military,
Mm-hmm.
I would make business cards and I would use sales and marketing. I will make sure that my canvas is good. I'm a personal trainer, so that means I look good, have my arms out and stuff. You hit all the markers as a salesman because I need women to buy into my training program.
Right.
I can provide a solution to your problem, right?
Mhm.
You approach 100 women, 10% of that, you good to go. Or at least 1% of that, you good.
Right.
I've done all that. So before COVID, so 2018 is when I came into personal training. 2019, 2020, 2021. 2022 is when I noticed a different shift in women's demeanor when they see me coming towards them. I don't know if we over marketed ourselves during COVID as trainers. Everybody in Atlanta is trying to sell you something, or women during the COVID, them 2 years from 2020 to 2022, that's what the Kevin Samuel stuff hit, kind of like blew. Remember that when it blew up? I noticed ever since then, it's been a shift with approaching women. It's a little bit more ambiguous. You don't really get read all the time.
Right.
Somebody
And
somewhere,
talk about the BS,
man, yeah,
the B resting face.
you don't know.
Yeah. So, and I think some women don't know that they have it because they're so into, because I have to remind myself, because sometimes people like, hey, baby, smile. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I am somewhere else. And I don't mean to be, mean.
You gotta smile.
You know what I'm saying? But like I may be in the store and I'm trying to figure out what, I'm trying to do, and my brain is not even thinking about being approachable. But then you just have people that are already like that. Like they're not approachable people at all. So
Yeah. So you have to get in the habit. Now, men, we are charged to get in the habit to set ourselves up for success because we're outcome based.
mm,
If you're a single man, you do all your push-ups, you do your sit-ups, you run your laps, you got a little money in your pocket, fresh, you know. But the critical thing that's missing is like companionship, right? Dare I say it, people will kind of call you weird if you don't have a girl. Back when I was young, like, hey man, like you put together, why you single? So we have to go out and mingle, go out to night spots, socialize, right?
mhm.
So I used to do that. I used to make it a point to understand that you have to like put yourself in proximity because that's what a lot of this is about. And Atlanta does a good job at having proximity. You got to realize like don't they have like the Atlanta skip day down there at the underground
I think
or over there
one
at
of the
the
guests,
Upper
I think,
West Side?
yeah, I think so. I think one of our guests,
Yeah,
he goes. Yeah.
you got Sear Circles and Sundress. You got all the run clubs. Like they breaking off and making more of them now. Like I remember it was just one run club. Now it's like 16.
Yeah, like someone was telling me,
So
like the rub club. Was it you that the run clubs are now like the new dating scene?
it's a new hinge because you got to look at it. Let's not forget black people think outside the box. When we got put in the houses in COVID, everybody started, remember that? Working on again LLCs, online fitness coaching. Boom, I'm doing Turo, I'm doing Airbnbs and stuff. How is it that we could think outside the box and critical think ourselves into some paper on all those facets and something that's cookie cutter as like run clubs some kind of way? No, we're just really here just to run. Some people are, but a lot of people are there also to, you know. And that's not to judge people because, in my opinion, this life is to be lived, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're single. Now, the controversy comes in because there's always a pendulum. You get a bunch of people in a city that's single, and we get into that bell curve to where people that went to these social clubs, and everybody, when you get about right here, all right, everybody like boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, at that point, you start getting around here, everybody doggone like, I want more. I'm
Right.
gonna sneak around. I'm gonna go to the other one in Buckhead now. Then we corrupt. Then everything gets corrupt again. And we're back to podcasts and chicks and people ain't make eye contact with me at Walmart, and I don't want to have nothing to do with nobody. But
Go ahead, but
the proximity is there. There's no excuse in the city of Atlanta for people. I should see after the night, Toya, I shouldn't see no more podcasts, no more about people struggling. Because we have to just be honest with ourselves.
well, I think the honesty is the fact that there's a certain type of everybody can't have a 6 foot man. You see what I'm saying? There's not enough out there.
Okay.
There's not enough out there to have a 6 foot man. So some of y'all gonna have to date 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". You know what I mean? If you 5'2", why do you need someone that's 6'7"? Like it doesn't make sense to me. But you know that's just my thought process, and maybe because I'm 5'9". But I date shorter than me. I've dated someone that was 5'7". So it didn't make him a bad person because he was 5'7". You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times people think about how are we gonna look in a picture in our wedding dress and stuff like that versus saying, hey, is this person capable of having a real solid marriage and partnership and business? Are we suitable for each other? We're worrying about our earth suits. But I understand that what you're attracted to. So how do you, because I know you talk about cold approaching a lot. I know, like back in the day, code approaching, how many numbers you got tonight? You know what I'm saying? Do men still do that?
They kind of got to do that for insurance purposes because it goes back with the uncertainty of what women has been telling me. They would tell me, I give my phone number out. I was talking to a friend the other night about that. I give my phone number out. I know I shouldn't, but the dude just kept going on and on. I said, okay, I'm gonna give my number. I tell ladies, y'all gotta stop that. Y'all gotta stop. We have to, because what happens is a psychology penalty behind that. And a part of that whole thing when they be saying like how men are just like not sure of themselves. We think men are not confident like they were in the past. You have to look at the psyche of the mind. Think about it. If you practice layups and jump shots like thousands of reps and it goes in practice, but then you get in the game and do the exact same thing and don't go in, it kind of fools with you mentally because it's like you did everything right.
Right.
I can't explain why this outcome is not happening. So if a guy then listen to like the last 6 years since COVID of like strange weirdos and stuff coming up to me, of course, a guy's not going to blow his one and only shot on the cold approach to saying some dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He gonna try to come with his best effort and pure intention. But when he do that, and it's like, okay, you get the number, and then you try to text the next day to try to start lining stuff up, or just try to like get a gauge on like chemistry and just conversation. Nothing. Blocked. Phone going to voicemail. So it's like, okay, do women even like men? Because on one end you hear about like where the men at, but then when you in the trenches, you put it into practice. A lot of times, most dudes when they get numbers, you have to get probably like 3 to 6 numbers just to count on like one of them being legit. Like you actually on the phone having a conversation, lining up something. We like to overinflate with the theater of the mind that guys out here just killing it because I keep hearing this thing about Atlanta got 12 to 1. I'm a realist. You know, I was living in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
I come down to Atlanta. It's 12 to 1 phenomenon. It may be true, but it's not true when it comes to emotional availability.
You get a ding for that.
You can get a bunch of single women in a venue in some kind of way. You're not their going rate because you're not 6 feet. You might be 5'11" and 3/4, but you ain't. You know what I'm saying? You're a quarter inch off in that 6 foot player.
Right.
So my sisters is gonna judge me critically if I bring you over to there. So therefore, the groupthink phenomena, in my opinion, got a lot of women in chokehold. Groupthink culture in Atlanta is running rampant.
Explain what that means.
Atlanta is a trendy city, meaning like whatever's going now, everybody got to jump on that wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've used a lot of like, okay, just like we always say, like 80% of the women are messing with the same 20% of men, and they're spilling over to like some of the married brothers, you know, because of it's something about the compatibility. You know, you can supersede somebody in compatibility, make yourself uncompatible. Just like
Explain that.
yeah. So if you grow, I know, like I've noticed Atlanta has like a culture. Like people tell me, like, man, you don't act like a regular Atlanta nigga. I'm like, explain that. Like, you know, you just ain't just like you not. And that's the issue. So they don't know what category to put me in. And I'm looking at a lot of people out here that's like kind of like all the same. It's like NPCs, non-playable characters. Everybody you could tell, everybody that likes a certain type of dude. And then they go online and say, I want a guy who's husband qualities and stuff like that. But in practice, it's the same type of guy. And I'm like, okay, we have a group think trend going on out here. Why don't women just see somebody in the moment and say, you know what, I'm single, he's single. I'm gonna be more optimistic instead of like he could potentially be the boogeyman, so I don't know, you know. And then they wait for confirmation from like their girlfriend. I get more girls hollering and looking at me and being all on my face like when I'm out on a date. When I'm with a chick, I said the bartender is all up in my face. I got the waitress. I see like glancing that look at the girl that look at me. I'm like, what's all this about? Before the pandemic, this wasn't like this, but I wasn't living in Atlanta, so I don't know. Maybe people who's been in Atlanta since way before the pandemic can tell me. But I know there was a shift in the dating subculture since COVID-19 when it comes to cold approaching. Like these days, they're really kind of like looking at it like, man, like is it even pointless to even cold approach no more?
Because I mean, you go on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram. Well, yeah, some people holler through Instagram. They try to get in the DMs, and then I think it's because of dating apps.
That don't work. And I don't do and so and I be hearing that. I'm like, but men, we're gonna try everything for an outcome. It don't make us a bad person. Like if you're not getting an emotion on the streets, it ain't at the clubs. It ain't
Well, the same people go to the same clubs, so it's like finding somebody in the club is not a place to find somebody. You have to go to like a festival, somewhere to eat.
but you gotta look at the festivals, it's so overwhelming. Like you ever been to like a social spot with just like mad women in there?
Well, I'm a woman, so
It ain't never you be the only brother in there and And you get criticized. I'm from the old school, so my formula, what I did back in like 2006 and 2007 was normal. Like, for example, like when we used to go out to the club and really just meet women on cold approach and dancing, we all knew when we stood in them long ass lines back in the day, we all went there to like meet people. It wasn't like, I'm just here to vibe with my girlies. Nah, stop lying.
Right.
You are here the same reason why I'm here.
Right.
What's happening? They dancing, you get behind them and dance, they turn back and look, and they like what they see, they keep dancing and stuff, and you doggone, hey man, put your number on my phone. The the conversations and stuff can kind of like go, the next following day. And if you guys can hit it off, then you do. If you don't, there was no weird, like, like no long strings of like, I'm gonna follow her on Instagram and I'm gonna be in her DMs bothering her.
Right.
And this, and I will say this for the fellas, like, we got to stop doing that. That was training from the previous generation. It's like, if she say no, it might be if it's a soft no, keep going, navigate around that. Coercion. Remember that? Like back in the day, your uncle then taught you coercion. Now keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. Hey, we taking like snapshots out of the Pimpology Chronicles these days, man. And that's basically what people are doing, not realizing it. It kind of goes against just trying to find a companion, right? We can't be using pimpology blueprints and dark Machiavellian psychology just to get a date. Whereas when you was in college and stuff, like the girl that sat next to you, that y'all kind of did the assignment together, some kind of way, there was chemistry when you took her out to lunch to talk about, like, citing our sources.
Right.
It was simple. Before you know it, man, you got your girlfriend going bowling. We going to the movies, man.
So do you feel like podcasts have hurt the dating pool as well? With the red pill and the hypergamy, and like, how does that affect the man?
So a lot of this was brand new. I never heard of this because, like, social media prior to the red pill podcast thing, I think it had us in like the dark ages, and we was more unique on our personal individual attraction when we're out and about. What podcasts did, it put an indoctrination operating system in you now. So now when you go out, you got red pill indoctrination in you to like, oh no, she ain't finna do that. I see that a mile away. I'm finna doggone knock this down. Like, but before podcasting, man, this is something that's like recent as 2018, man.
Right.
2017. Yeah, 2020. People weren't talking about this in 2020.
Well, I feel like that's when podcasting, when the world shut down, people needed things to do and things to, that was their way of like staying connected with the world, was to sit here and listen to people, and their thought processes about life. Because I feel like if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think that there would be more of a platform for men to speak. Because if you think about it, Kevin Samuels made it where men had somewhat of a voice through him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now that also breed the red pill situation. Now you have all these people putting their ideologies. I think I'm saying that right.
Ideologies. See,
yes.
I'm right here with you, T.
Thank you.
I'm right here with you.
Because the tongue is not.
No, we getting there. You want to swim? Oh, give me a swim.
Well, thank you for the correction, because I needed it, because I was. And people like are saying the things that people have been saying will not say. Those things that people whipped out the rug, no, don't say that. We just gonna deal with how, women act. But now there's a platform for other people around the world to hear, like, no, we're not putting up with what women were doing. And then you have women out there saying, no, you should date somebody better than you. And you know what I'm saying? So now there's this gender war, going on, and nobody's trying to match each other. because that's why I got out of relationship podcasting, because I started to see everybody was talking about the problem, but nobody was actually talking about putting people together. You see what I'm saying? Like when I see these dating coach, I always hear, "Oh, I get 4 or 5 people in relationships a week," or or this and this. "Oh, I got 4 or 5." I'm like, can we actually see some of the evidence of what you're talking about? Because right now I see that you're putting out a lot of content. When I look in your comments, I don't see somebody saying, "Hey, I got married, thank you," or like people being like, "Yes, this podcast helped me find my husband." And I just didn't want to be, I didn't want to add to, I just felt like I had more of a purpose, and the Lord showed me that I needed to do logic over emotions. And so when I sit back and I hear you men talk about how you go out, women are like, nah, they don't want to talk to you, then they don't want to talk to you, but then they're at home making videos talking about no man approaches me and all this stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, maybe somebody did approach you, it's just that you didn't like how he looked.
Let me stop you right there, because looks is subjective. I think women have been indoctrinated into a specific type of look, like trends.
Like,
Oh, light skin is in, dark skin is in. This guy got tattoos on his neck. This guy, I like his, he needs to be funny. Look, what we're doing, we're compressing all these particular group thinks into like one particular norm, and then pushing it out to like 90% of the women in Atlanta to copy and paste. And they're struggling to find dudes. You're gonna see a lot of dudes in Atlanta, but not every dude is gonna like fit and fall into like whatever is like trending on like everybody's attractive tongue.
mm-hmm.
I think, we need to worry about you meet the minimum qualifications, you good. I think all this hustle culture, get into the bag culture, all this Airbnb, Bitcoin culture, where everybody got to be, in Atlanta, we got to pull Lambos, Hellcats, and stuff like that. Boom, we put that over to like our men, and a lot of guys can't pull that off. Like say if you were standing in line at Kroger, just something simple as like what we do. We all got to eat. We all got to go get deodorant. I see this a lot. You shoot a shot. It's cold. There's no engaging. What's that for? How you doing? I like them shoes. Where you get them shoes? She would answer the question and then continue standing in line. Man.
She won't continue. She won't take the bait, basically.
Yeah. Like you talking about read the room, you read the room. Like you clearly see what this is. I'm like, are you single? Yeah, she can either say yes or no. Like, don't give me your number and then that's it. And then don't hear from me, because now you in my Google contacts and you taking up storage in my phone. Like, tell me. You know how many doggone stores I go through? I'm like, that's that girl I met that time back in 2019 that wasn't really talking about nothing. I guess she feared for her life, so she thought to give me a number.
But you have to understand that that is reality for some people. You see what I'm saying? Some people have been, "Oh, you think because I denied you my phone number," you know what I mean? Because I even experienced somebody ask me for my phone number and then I say no. And then all of a sudden it's, "Oh, you think you fine. You think you better than me. You think you did." And like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So there's a lot of women who have experienced that. And unfortunately, the people that are not the creeps, they end up falling into that bucket just because they had that one experience with that person.
Got you. I could put my executive protection hat on then. You got to remember, like I've done a lot of that, and I talk. Oh, no, for real, because I don't talk about that. So people like, man, what skin in the game you got with this? Because I did bodyguard work for women. Hey man, she don't want to talk to you. I'm that guy. So I understand. And I tell the fellas, like, guys, you gotta understand at some point, like, go that oh, well, I'm gonna keep trying. Give me an Instagram, put your number in your phone. Like, you have to understand. You reshape the tone and reality of where we at right now.
Right.
We're all right where we at right now because of them guys who think they're just going hard in the paint. That no quit attitude. When you
So
do,
when does a man okay, if a young man came to you and you'd be like, well, how many times should I, get my like try to get her number? Would you say twice and leave her alone? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes some men are really good salesmen, and some men feel like, okay, she's just saying no, let me try one more time. So if you had a younger male, in your, that he's talking to you, what would you tell him?
but that wouldn't be a cold approach. That'd be somebody on a warm lead. A warm lead is different than a cold approach.
Okay, hold up. Okay, definition of cold approach.
A cold approach, if I see you, I've never met you before, I see you at the mall, I'm walking by you, I think you attractive, I'm approaching you, I'm trying to get you to buy into my level of what I can provide as a guy that you can come out on a date with. That's a cold approach.
Okay.
You don't even know me.
Okay. So when you do the code approach and you ask the girl for her number, if she says no, that's when the code approach stops.
I already got like a thought in my mind of what I'm gonna say to close it out at that point.
So that means you're trying 2 times.
No, there's not. Think about it.
I'm here to understand.
So if you're not interested, I'm saying my closeout will be, well, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and have a good day. That's it.
So that's what you tell a young man. If it's code approach, see if she gonna take the bite and the bait, and if she doesn't,
Yeah.
close it up.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing.
Because
Now, go ahead.
Because you're gonna make things weird at that point. Now if you're a guy who goes to happy hour, at the Battery or at the Interlock with your company, your job, and you see like a bartender or a chick from a different department there, you kind of see her in passing, but you never shot a shot. She's aware that you come there on Fridays during that particular time. You're aware that she comes on that Friday. Y'all kind of chit chat, small talk. At some point, she's kind of aware of your existence. So therefore, that'd be more of a warm approach. At some point, you kind of did something just to kind of test the water, got up, probably to laugh a little bit, and then you never really try her like that. You building kind of like more of a friendship, like a foundation of like familiarity, like as an acquaintance. At some point down the line, when you finally decide to say, "Hey, I'd like to take you out. Like maybe we can finish the conversation. Like you don't have to always be here."
Right.
Even if you try, and she might be kind of hesitant, you fall back off of it, and then y'all frequent the same place. Y'all still small talk. There's no emotions attached to it. At some point, like a few months down the line, you can probably reach back into it and say, "Hey, so like what? So tell me your story. Like, what? Like you single, or if you're married, like, or why are you single? Like, what do you like? I see you always coming to this place on happy hour. I'm coming to this place on happy hour." You have to. A lot of times, the guys try to look at women as something that they need to acquire, like a date. A lot of times, we miss the mark. You got to just sometimes chit chat. I chit chat with a lot of women, and they don't really mean I'm trying to get her number.
Right.
You
Sideways Radio says, I would tell him to find the one that likes you.
That's what I was about to get at. Yep. That cold approach, you close it out. Have a good day. Stay beautiful. Stay blessed. You'll eventually rule out, and you can create that confidence from competence, because competence comes from repetitions to build the confidence. So if a lot of women are giving phone numbers and then they're not really attracted, then it brings the competence in men down, because all of the repetitions, they like at 30% success rate or close rate. So they're not sure on
So
what
you're
to
looking
do.
at this as sales.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is at first. The cold approach is that. Now, once we exchange numbers, start going out, then that's when your character and things and your core values and stuff like, should mesh. And then the process of elimination can take its own course. You might have a good couple of dates, and then you should feel like you're just not really like a good match, and then you guys had a good little experience, and that is the respectable way of like how I'm used to dating. If we're not compatible, I don't really have time to be trying to like coerce her around to like what my vision is on what we're supposed to be doing. I respect the game. You know, that's why I said in my other video, like dating is not trash. People are trash. Dating is a system. Like, hey, once you get into the dating game, like you can't get mad that she don't feel you like that. I know, like I don't care how bad you think she is. You're like, dang, but you have to like get the ego out of it
Mm-hmm.
because, like I told you, like some of the systems of personal training is similar to like finding a chick. I used to go in beauty salons. I used to be everywhere. Beltline, go to Planet Fitness and all that, and I just try to get the clients at the time. Like majority of them didn't call me back, you know. So I'm trying to sell fitness to them. But then when I started getting clients, then it turned right back around to like a lot of my clients, they coming in there stressed out about men that they date, and then they ask me about like suggestions on why men do this and all that. So that's kind of like how I got into this, from just trying to find a solution to get women to feel good and confident with fitness. That's where it started. And they were like, yo, man, you should tell us, like, because we didn't know we have resting bitch faces. We just trying to like,
Excuse our language.
oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
We just trying to, you know, and I understand that because I care about women. You know, I never came from a background of like this whole red pill and hating chicks. Like that's something new.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Cyrus Radio says, if it feels like work, I don't think you are doing it right.
if it feels like work, you're not doing it right.
I don't, that's what he said. If it feels like work, I don't think you're doing it right.
Because there's supposed to be a congruency in it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, men will approach women and say if she might do find you attractive and she like it's still, if it's too much ambiguity in it and she's not really calling you, she only texts back, she's only responding, then it start to kind of feel like work. But then that goes into the mindset that we also have to get to the bottom of too. Like where did this mindset come from that you just absolutely don't do nothing? So I do like you, but then you don't really call all that much. You don't really show comfort and express your emotions and your interests. So what's that about? So then that's another dichotomy of this whole thing that 'cause a lot of guys can say, man, this feel like too much, man. You know what? I'm gonna play off of this. And then now that's why we got the videos of the women in the car talking about how men are just over us, men are done, they're not approaching us. Because a lot of guys probably, even if they get the number and stuff like that, like the experience don't feel reciprocated. It's like real, like slow. And if that's the case, then that's cool. You don't really like the guy like that, then I would question like, why did you get a guy your contact? Now he's all in your algorithm.
Right.
Google them, put him into your contacts or suggestions. You know how many people, you know, you get the numbers and stuff, you don't really talk to them and all that, but at some point they end up seeing you and everything and start following you. And you're like, nah, I know you follow me.
Right.
I never really talked to you on the phone for real. So now you're in my algorithm.
Right.
So yeah, that right there, man. I'm looking at like just like your show, logic over emotion. Sales is logic. It's not really the emotions that even though you may have some type of interest, and interest kind of rests in that area of emotions. Like if you really see somebody like, man, I like her, I got a crush on her. That's an emotion.
Do you think fear of rejection could be the reason why men don't?
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of men fear rejection, not the first rejection, not the fifth rejection, but when they start getting like 20, 30, 40, 50 rejections, this little space that we witnessing is probably coming from that group of men who's at 30 rejections right now, 40. And it's not
Okay.
adding up because it's like you keep hearing about, but it's mad women in Atlanta on this hand, but then you got 50 rejections. What's going on?
So you're like, it ain't even worth.
It's
Like,
it's a phenomenon going on. It ain't got nothing to do with you're ugly. That's a lie because medium ugly is in. So next question. You know what I'm saying? What's happening?
so do you feel like in 2026 more women are walking around more unapproachable? And so due to the fact that men are afraid of rejection, they can just look at, because one of the ladies were like,
Yeah.
I knew he liked me, like he fancied me so much, but he didn't come and say anything.
Because she
Right.
probably was just looking at him like she's doggone looking at like a grizzly bear. She like, yeah.
She was
Because
looking
if
at him.
she would have had a smile on her face,
But
then
we don't know if she had a smile on her face. But
I'm
she's just saying that that's her view, is that she knew the guy liked her, but he
Yeah.
didn't come over and talk. So do you feel like now men are not able to read women now, and women need to be more like more of the person to be like, hey, I like you, to make a man feel comfortable? Like, do women need to be more aggressive in the dating game in 2026?
well, that's not in my opinion. See, now I have to. That's not aggressive.
Okay, just
That's not aggressive. That's showing. So you showing interest, which is a form of communication.
okay.
That aggression stuff comes after two or more times after that.
Okay.
Like women, but I don't want to show him that because I'm gonna feel like he's gonna look at me like I'm doing too much. No, you got to meet the minimum qualifications to be considered doing too much. Like for real, like think about it. If I like you and you show me you like me back, oh, it's go time. And put your number on my phone. What's happening? Like it's a conflict of interest.
We are at
That's
where
where we
women.
at.
That's where we at.
Because they said I don't want to say women set the conditions on men, but the conditions has been set to where these days you have to get straight to the nitty gritty.
Right.
I can't come here and talk about the sky like do you like the weather out here? So
Right.
how's the music in here and all that? And then try to close it in. I'm gonna get straight to it these days, and I'm gonna need you to respond in kind. Like that's cool. I'm like, so check it out. Usually I just say, yo, you got a man? What's going on?
Right.
And I'm like, and she don't say no. I'm like, okay, and I try to like get a conversation going to where I'm like, well, like, would you mind talking at some point? I got to get there immediately. We don't have time for this because you're gonna start making stuff weird, and she's gonna get anxious and spooked. And that's cold approach. That's if you're standing in line at Quick Trip. We don't have time for that. But if you at a social venue and y'all sitting there, y'all got time to dialogue, then that's different. I'll dialogue a little bit, and then like, hey, so might I get your number? We can continue this conversation tomorrow. I'll take you out over dinner, and we can kind of just to see if she's interested. But I think the conditions has been set to where I think a lot of women is going to have to be more expressive these days to let the guy know, hey, I'm at least I like what I see. Let's start
Right.
there, the bare minimum. We don't know each other yet, but if you like what you see, just like I like what I see, we can start there. 'Cause
Okay. So do you feel like people? Okay. So if I'm swiping right on dating apps, right? I'm a man. I'm swiping right on dating apps. That's where my code approach is. So because I'm on this dating app, when I go into the wild, as they say, I don't need to approach the women that I see, because on my app, I've been code approaching all day by swiping right. I'm just waiting to see if somebody likes my picture. No.
no,
Okay.
you can't do that. You can't bank on that because there's another thing. Online dating has took a turn as well.
Okay.
There's a lot of social events here in Atlanta. These same women that's on these apps, they might entertain it a little bit. They're gonna put the phone down and go out to a doggone run club. The fellas out there are gonna be on it. For every day you missing the hunt, as they say, not the chase, which is different. It's a hunt. I don't have time to like sit here and wait on like some checking my phone every now and again, see if she messaged. She out. She had scissors and sundresses, wearing a sundress. She's slow on your messages because this is the thing I have to remind people. There's always gonna be a man hollering. Security gonna try to holler. The manager gonna try to shoot his shot at some point. The Amazon guy. Every guy capitalize on that moment. I don't care if you delivering boxes. You see something.
That's what happened to me today. So you are right.
Yeah.
You're right. Because I had donated a mattress.
You wait.
Donated a
As a man,
mattress. And I was just being me or whatever, and he was giving me a hard time about it. And I was just being me or whatever. And then he calls me back. He's like, "Hey, this is the guy that came and got the mattress you donated." I was like, "Okay, there's something wrong." He's like, "No, I just wanted to know if take you to lunch." And I'm just like, you met me for 2.5 seconds. First you gave me HE double hockey sticks about my mattress, and then now it's I want to take you out to lunch. And to me, my first experiences with you was you giving me a hard time.
Men don't think like that. We look at the big picture. Look at the big picture. That's why you can be in a bonnet at Family Dollar, Dollar Tree. You know how many chicks I would like date? I done seen that Dollar Tree. What's happening? I look a mess. It don't matter. I look at, and
you look at you look like you can clean up well.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. I got eyes. Like, see, to me, people have become very shallow. That goes that group think thing again.
Mm-hmm.
People know when they see a fine man and stuff for real. Just because you doggone just finished doggone painting the house and stuff, you shooting the air real quick. You look at, oh, I ain't like his shoes and stuff. But then you run into that same girl like, aren't you that same girl dressed up? Yeah. Stop being shallow. You can have a husband right now, man. I remember I met a girl, she like, I thought you was a certain kind of guy because you wear glasses. Okay. I ain't got them on now. What's happening? Like, what does that got to do?
What does that mean?
I just
She thought you're a nerd or something?
Yeah.
What's wrong with nerds?
Hey, the goalpost moves per woman in Atlanta. It's like what? 7-8 million people in Atlanta. There's 7-8 million goalposts. That's the real reason why we in this whole podcast phenomenon. We got too many goalposts. Everybody like, nah, man, I think, I like the glasses. No, I don't like the glasses. Oh, you don't? Then I don't like it, because, I'm like, look, we need to just reset, throw everything in the garbage. Everybody's all going to stop what they're doing, go to counseling for about 6 weeks, and everybody meet down there at the Beltline or Piedmont Park and stuff and just going have mimosas and a lunch picnic date and just start with true character and intentions. Right.
So I'm gonna ask you this. Do you think that men have as a whole have lost confidence in code approaching? Like, do you feel like, because some people say society is now promoting more beta men. Do you see what I'm saying? So do you, or more feminine type of men? Do you feel that could be one of the reasons why, men are not being as out there like before? Is because they're becoming more feminine, or they're not that many, we're not producing that many alpha males, or
You got to
like,
look at like
or is this just something that they're trying to sell to the masses?
I look at it as something they're trying to sell. Like, just because there's a percentage of men that just fell back off of it, there's calculation, in my opinion. So you mean tell me before the pandemic I was an alpha male, I was just that dude? But since I ain't approached you, now I converted back over to being feminine? What's happening? No, it's calculation based off of repetitions and outcomes. That's how I look at it, like strategy. I look at, okay, I might have to like adjust a little bit because the ecosystem that I maneuver in has shifted and changed. Look at it. Something as simple as Chick-fil-A did it. Before COVID, Chick-fil-A had lines, two lines right around the whole entire building. When COVID hit, they had these consultants to come and made it to where there was a system of flow that directs traffic within like the whole drive-through. That's now like more of a user-friendly customer service approach to speed up time. So when I look at now like code approach is something that you don't really get like the results that you're used to, because in an ecosystem, or let's call this like the animal kingdom or whatever, or civilization,
Mm-hmm.
as authentic as men like to say they are, there's also the boogeyman that's within that ecosystem. It's like that to keep checks and balances, period. So I can understand why women are the way they are. Like that's guys that got bad intentions is what I'm trying to say. For every guy that's good intentions out there, taking a shower, he doggone lining up his beard, trying to get, debonair for the ladies. There's a guy getting paroled out of prison, bad intentions. I'm finna come home for the guy. No, I'm just gonna run through these, you know what I'm saying? It's two of them. For every good guy, there's two bad guys. So women have to kind of really look at their discernment to be able to tell them apart, because the boogeyman and the guy who has pure intentions in the beginning, they kind of look similar. And a lot of women can't tell them apart. A guy put on a persona, like I always say, like a demon is gonna spray cologne, he gonna have a nice haircut, and he gonna say the right thing. He gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you. And the Asmodeus, the demon of lust, he's gonna look just like your knight of shining armor. That's what it's supposed to do. He's not gonna look like the guy with the horns and the pitchfork. It's by design. He has to merge into the guy that he thinks women are looking for in order to close his deal. His intentions is not pure. So a lot of women are doing that because they're struggling being able to determine the good intentions from the bad intentions in a lot of these men. So what I do in terms of me being a mentor, I have to say, well, first, let me correct myself. Let me make sure I move throughout the city of Atlanta in a way conducive to like the things that I speak, right? You say one thing and do one thing, then you're eliminated. You got to do what you say. You got to talk that talk, walk that walk. So if I'm intent on trying to find a date or trying to find something that's real out here in the field, then I can't off camera go out here and just be like side niggas out here, you know what I'm saying? Messing with folks' wives and stuff on the back end and stuff, but then get back on camera and be like, because women have too many inconsistent brothers they run into every day. So I think we have this pendulum that's going on right here. So women, when you see guys that's not saying anything to you, since you guys have the ball in your court because the conditions has been set. So when the conditions has been set that there's strange guys out here, then you kind of set the conditions and stuff on like, okay, then when you in that moment see the guy that you like, then light up a little bit more. Then maybe guys will start to like approach and say something and stuff, But
Yeah, my mom's like, you gotta look, look. You have to, we'll say this. She said, if you want to be a friend, you have to be a friend, right? So if you want to be approached, you have to be approachable. So right now, Meet You Reach says, heck nah, a culture has been created to demonize the approach. Certain things we used to do that might actually work are laughed at by women.
Yeah, and I can see that. So it's 30 days in every month. Ladies, I'm gonna tell you guys this, and that's another thing. They think you out here hunting every damn 30 of them days of every month. No, it's times where it's like I don't feel like I'm just gonna run errands, I'm gonna go to the gym and work out. So when you're not switched in the own position, you pay attention. I go to Target, I go to these places that women say, man, and I just observe and stuff like that. And I go to the gym. Everybody got these headphones on. So you mean tell me, so we're gonna sit here and act like everybody's okay with just being single and just going to the gym where you placed in proximity of people who look good? Oh no, I'm just here to work out. I'm gonna tell you this, I tell ladies this, I said, you engaging, if you're really single, and you bona fide single, and you know in your heart that you really like wanting the guy to approach you and the guy approach you at the gym, that's just as important as you getting that rep, man. That's it. You can always go to the gym. People go in there and overdo it. Nah, you taking I was doing squats. Man, look, get that number. Y'all can train together. You got to think outside the box and big picture. Men with more of a dominant hunter's brain, things like that. We're not going to be like, I'm not going to, even tell me I'm going to like ignore like somebody in the gym when we right next to each other working out, just like quiet because Atlanta says like, hey, heck no, I ain't approaching. Hey, I run my own race, man. And nobody speaks for me but me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just cause the world said, hey, everybody stand down, man. Like, the cold approaches is a thing of the past. So what I'm gonna do starting tomorrow, I'm just going to, like, as a single guy, just go throughout life just not saying that.
Right. Well, I mean, a
Nah,
lot of people, a lot of people do.
I
It's
just
easier. It's easier to deal with rejection on a dating app. If you don't like me, we don't match. You know what I'm saying? Point blank. Period. That's why Bumble was made, because the women have to seek you out. You know what I'm saying? And if you like them, then you have the option to speak. So let me ask you a question: what behaviors from women makes men think, don't even bother me?
that's easy. She's barely engaging. I've dealt with that before. And then circle back around and find out she was just shy. So I'm like, okay, so Houston, we got another problem. So you mean to me, you being shy and a man's mind comes off as like you're not interested. She's being very short. She's not making eye contact. Like, okay, well, sweetie, you have a good day. Then now she might walk away with like, why did you don't try hard enough? Like, then y'all just say like, if you need to read the room. Remember that a couple years ago? But so before we got where we at right now, dudes still were kind of semi trying. You go
The
back and look
goalpost
at
is given.
podcast videos where women say, oh, gosh, I be at the gym and I'm working out, even though she's in a pea print and her leggings.
Mm-hmm.
All this trendy stuff on TikTok, just research 2022. Men need to read the room. Ladies,
And
men
so
read the
now
room.
when men read the room,
Oh, the guy
it's
looked at me and he ain't say nothing. Men are outcome based. What is it that you trying to tell me to do? You know what I'm saying? The pendulum switched from, all right, fellas, let's stand back. Spartans, let's stand back. The ladies have spoken on TikTok, said read the room. So now, guess what we're doing? We're sitting there looking like this. I'm reading the room, Toya, what's going on? And she's looking like, oh my God, like, when is he going to close the deal? And then he's like, but while she's saying it, her face is like,
been doing that. Yeah.
now watch. We ride the wave of what's trendy. Men don't know how to read the room, girl. Men don't. Now, I think men are feminine. Look, it's men don't just go from being masculine 1 year and then the next year back feminine. And no, that's not the way that works. Alpha male, this alpha male. There's several different derivatives of men based off their experiences. Men just like to close the deal. Like now, sometimes and stuff, you just, if you got time, you go out here and just play. Go ahead and give me your rest and be face. I'm gonna still shoot the shot. You're gonna have to tell me no. And then I can take that and say, okay, I'm collecting data. So being a conversationalist or master conversationalist is a bonus, but not every guy
Can do that.
can
Just
do that.
start conversation.
And every guy's not a master conversationalist. You might want to go up to New York and stuff, man. Get you a 10-week training program by them cats up there, man. Come back down here and stuff, man. Them guys,
Start laying it on thick.
because it's fast paced. You know,
Okay, so has the independent woman movement changed how men perceive their roles in dating?
yeah. Because most of the time, men are selfish, and basically, it's a worldview. It's not just an individual thing. It is a worldview. Men should know how to change the oil, change the tire. I need to make the girl that I'm attracted to happy. Because guess what? The day you don't make her happy, Mike at work will. That's how men think. There's always a guy making her laugh in the break room, Simon. You know? So we hear that, oh, well, I don't need men. What you mean you don't need me? Huh? So how am I supposed to navigate this independent movement? But yet at the same time, like my card better not decline and stuff type. So if you don't need me, so we go out and stuff, man, you tapping your card there. You know what I'm saying? But no, you can't do that because she gonna really eliminate that. Why you ain't paying? You can't. Hey,
The
when you said
goalpost is being moved a
that's what I
lot.
was about to say. I'm already on 5 different goalposts. Last time I checked, it's only supposed to be 2 goalposts. You know, it's the minimum and maximum effort. Okay, you meet the minimum requirements for you to look attractive enough for me to like you, and then the maximum effort. Like she's doing a lot, and you know the law of reciprocity, right? If she doing all this and stuff, man, like this my baby. Now she's like, I think I'm gonna marry her, man. That's where that comes. That's where that comes in at. I had a buddy and stuff, man. I remember like he went out on like a couple of dates with his girl and stuff, and I remember in the car ride, man. We riding back from the club, man. I looked over, he like, hey, man, sure, girl, man. I think I'm gonna marry her. And I look, man, stop lying, man. She went out with her a couple, like 4 times. And
So you don't believe in love at first sight? You don't believe how? So how do you think it takes for somebody to say, "I want to be with that person"?
it don't take long. And in order for me to get there, I had to learn that from my partner. That's what I'm trying to say. Before that, I'm like, y'all, when y'all arguing in the club? But then I had to learn all arguments ain't spiteful. See, arguments is when a, and it's something simple. Like I saw you dance with her on the dance floor. Ah, that means she likes you. See, a lot of times, you know, we forget that good happy and sad and mad and glad is on the same coin. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to read that, like with women, like if she piss you off or stuff like that, she probably just expressing like something. You know, we can't just write people off. We live in the age now, like man, you know what, man? Next, matter of fact, I'm finna go in the run club tomorrow, man. I know I'm
All
a
right,
house.
yeah, I'm getting back on the
What's
dating
happening?
site. That's why you see the same people. Because do you feel like men are not approaching because there is a lot of options out there? Like on the day, like there's more ways to get like say for instance, right? Back in the day, you didn't have thousands of women that you can look at the right at your
At your
house.
disposal. It wasn't.
Right. So basically, the people that you would end up dating would be the people that were in your proximity, right? But do you feel like now because we have these instruments or these tools that now it's just like, well, this don't work. I'm just gonna make my account again and find me somebody else. Oh, this don't work. So now people don't want to try to make things work because they feel they have that fake mentality or perception that they got options when they really don't got options.
That's exactly what it is. You know, it's called analysis paralysis. The more cars you look at, more packages you look at, trim levels, they're gonna take you a lot longer. Like, man, look, just pick one. You want the M5 or the 525? Do you want the leather interior? You want the manual? What's happening, man? You want the Hellcat? You want the Dodge Demon? Or you want to go and just go down to the RT? Like at some point, man, you know what? By the night, you better pick you something. Okay, that's how it is with women out here. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Going back to like, there's been venues where like I've been to where there's so many women, and guess what? Guess what they all do? They all do the same thing. They look at you the whole entire time, ping pong throughout the entire venue. So it's like now you just spitting in the wind. It's almost like you got a blindfold on, just throwing darts and stuff at the target, hoping you hit. When you got that many women in the house, because think about it, they all look good on the surface, but then when you finally do all that rigmarole and doggone like spit game at there in front of everybody, make a little spectacle of everybody, then you get it, find out she got about, I'm going through a divorce. And like, damn, man, all right, well, hey, let me just follow you on Instagram, man. You know, then you go to the next girl that look good because she ain't the only one look good. Let's clear that up. Then they're like, man, this dude like he's just bouncing all the way around. Because women frame of mind looks at like they look at fantasy. Women look at things like fate. Men don't really look at fate. It's like, well, why you talk to her?
What do you mean women look
Like,
at fake?
why did you talk to her first and not me? So therefore, I'm not sure because it don't come off as authentic. I saw you like bounce to these couple of girls. It's like because like she was married, you know. But I'm like again, I'm that.
And women don't know that these other women that you talked to before
Mhm.
had variables that you didn't like.
Yeah, and this
So
thing's
women tend to be like, because you didn't choose me first, I'm not as pretty as them.
That's one part of it. The other part of it is like you just in a woman's mind, she looks at like you just demonstrated that if I was to get to be your girlfriend, you just gonna go around talking to every chick everywhere you go.
Has a woman told you that?
They told me like that's their perspective.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they told me, and I'm like, that's the male experience. That's kind of like how it work. I kind of gotta like do that until I find one, because all of y'all are attractive. A majority of you guys, like. So I said, you know what? I tell you what. Then how about you don't even have to shoot your shot. Just be creative. A master conversationalist, like I said. For the man to do, the ladies too. Say something like, "Hey, I like your glasses. Like, are those Ray-Bans?" Oh, actually, these right here, Adidas and stuff, man. But what about you? Boom. He gonna close the deal regardless anyway, but yet you was a master conversations as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, it's 2026. We gotta stop giving all the mentorship advice to men and then women just sit back wanna be catched. Cause men supposed to be out here doing this dang on chase.
Right.
Chase me. I shouldn't have to say nothing. I actually supposed to just walk through everywhere in Atlanta for the rest of my life, saying nothing and looking at my phone while I'm running errands. And you supposed to still shoot in the wind with a blindfold on and know that you just got to like do that. So if you're not the one, so what you're supposed to do? Spend this entire whole time, and then the women go talk, girl. I don't know. You might want to watch it. Can he try to come talk to me? Aren't you married? Yeah, but he tried to come talk to me. He had to eliminate you.
To feel like there's seconds,
No, see,
especially in a
that's
group.
another whole problem. You have to get out of that. Remember, logic over emotions. Put the thing back on the TV. Logic over emotion. Get out your emotions. I'm not, because they're not second. She's always going to be first for the guy that's available for her. She shouldn't care if that guy view her as second because she didn't give him the number. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we got to look at big picture. I'm telling you, like, you got to be like, well, I'm going to show him. I'm going to show him a good time. So what if I'm number 3? I saw you talk to them other girls. You came to me. Now it's me and you. We locked eyes. We locked chemistry. We're in our chemistry bubble. That's the way it works. Atlanta got so many dating, like they got venues. It's Friday night. They got a socialization, dating, like hookup thing over down there and stuff. We shouldn't have to get to that point, man.
Right.
It's almost like feeding time. It's like we bring all the snakes in, and then we gonna back a truck in, bring all the mice in to finally get them to kind of like, nah. If I see you somewhere and you don't like what you see, then I already know what to say. Stay blessed, stay beautiful, sweetie.
So what does rejection mean to you as a man?
It gets me one step closer to like the girl that I know I'm gonna have that open engagement with. It gets me one step closer. Because now I'm all confused with this whole ambiguous energy. She texts every now and again. 2 days later, she responds back, "How was your day?" So we stuck in, "How was your day?" "Oh man, it's hot outside. I'm just coming back from the gym." "Oh, me too. Where did you work?" Like, look, let's get to like, what you doing Friday night, man? We got to move this thing. We got to stop. But that kind of spills into another conversation. I think a lot of times, because of the state of where dating is at, the unknown, that people just got 2, 3 people they juggling on the back end. So now you're like, well, shoot, I know Shorty. If she ain't, me and her supposed to get together Friday, but the other girl I really want to go with, she said she'll keep me posted. So then Friday come, you rain check the secondary one because to keep me posted made herself available. So that's where all this dating burnout stuff coming in at.
Okay.
And
So if a woman made you like, if a woman saying no to you, how does that make you think about yourself? When she did, like, have you gotten to the place of like, okay, you're just not my person?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's where you have gotten.
Oh yeah. But it's like it takes a while. I'm not gonna say like I've always been like that. I it comes with like emotional intelligence. You have to like, it's a skill. Just like going to the gym, you was not in shape for real. Now you started kind of getting in shape. You developing a skill on what to do to get your health in order and all that. Like the same thing with emotional intelligence. Everybody is different. I think a lot of it can kind of go with personality and temperament too. There's a lot of people who have more of an overinflated sense of self that may take it personal. You want me to say you the examples that you see with this on the football team? Anybody who plays sports and stuff, you might have some guys who more, damn, man, we took an L tonight, man. It is what it is. You always got that guy, that Rayshawn Lynch guy on the back of the way. Oh, man, we should have won the game. Man, we should have doggone. I know you supposed to caught that ball. You know what I'm saying? Because we have different variations of different men. So there's guys that's gonna take that as an L. Like, what do you mean you can't give me your number? You know what, man? Like, how about you just give me your IG? I'll follow you. Or how about I can be your friend? I can be your mechanic, even though you
So
got a
now you're
husband.
negotiating to
Mhm.
be in that woman's life.
And it's all about the chase. It don't even, a lot of times, like, it don't even be about you. It's about the chase. That's why I tell women, stop telling men to chase you. Because a dog would chase a prey to attack it. And then after that, it moves on. It don't know what else to do with it because it has 4,000 years of chase instinct built into their DNA. Canines do. If you run from a dog, it's just gonna start chasing you. It probably won't even gonna chase you until you ran from it. So what do you mean need to chase us? So now they're gonna chase you to an end to like, okay, there need to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And then that's when they finally get that, and then that's time they move on. They're like, man, that dude just slept with me and just blocked me. Stop telling people to just chase you. You know what I'm saying?
Oof, oof,
Yep.
oof. All right. This was a really enlightening conversation for me because I didn't even know women were out there doing stuff, stuff like that. Whatever. I am not the club person, so I don't know how people move, but
Hey,
I do have to I do have to thank our sponsor of this podcast. Patriot Stole is a faith-based company. They would like to remind you of Mark 22:37-39, to love God Almighty with all your heart, soul, and mind, and to love thy neighbors as thyself. So now
there you
we got
go.
these thoughtful questions and we're going to get out of here.
All
Oh,
right.
let me see if there's any comments. Okay. Well, Michi says women have encouraged unfavorable mate behaviors. If we're being honest, men have always altered themselves to fit what women say they want.
Yeah. Yeah. Men has always done it because the red pill, and I tell people that red pill stuff usually comes after fad trial and error.
Hmm.
Most guys are kind of green when they're young, coming out of mom's basement. They don't know to be red pill right away,
Right.
to be honest with you.
Hmm.
You know, because it's still like trying to like be lovey dovey. But as time go on, guys like, man, hold on, man, I done rolled out the red carpet and did all this. So now this is what we get. Now they ain't why that my man ain't he feel like he ain't gotta open the door for me and all that. He like, man, I used to do that and get cussed out, holding the doors open and stuff. Like, I got it. So not to say anything right and wrong and different. I'm just saying like the evolution of the male and female experience when it comes to dating has got us here. So
Mm.
now that we've unraveled everything on the table, everybody got their ace of spades. Everybody got you playing joker, joker, deuce, deuce. You got your cards, you pick your, and everybody got their hand again.
Hmm.
You know, reach dead show for the deck.
Hmm.
Everybody got their hand again because the dating game is always going to go on. You always got another date, another time to try to play your hand.
Okay, so so let me get to these questions, okay? Because we can keep going. Question is this. What is something you think men expect to handle silently when it comes to dating?
Handle silently when it comes to dating. So from what I heard and what I've experienced personally, handling silent is really being comfortable to speak your mind. without damaging like the energy, right?
Mhm.
You know, the honeymoon phase, everything in the honeymoon phase is gonna go good, but the silent thing, a lot of brothers can attest, like, I don't know how I feel about this, or
If I say this is
if
gonna
I
mess with
say
me.
this, you know, so I'm gonna just go ahead and fall back on that, you know, because it's right now I like where we at, you know what I'm saying? But that right there creates snowball equity, meaning like it's all these miniature infractions to where it gets to like it's stacked up versions of infractions, and then now when y'all finally had that power, now you gonna go all the way back to that third week of dating and try to start throwing stuff up in that person's face. So we silently deal with really speaking our mind because a lot of times we want to continue to ride that wave of good grace in the beginning, you know. So speaking your mind is like some of the things that a
Do
lot
you
of women,
believe men want emotional intimacy? Or they just want something like they just want some
you know,
companionships without vulnerability?
men need emotional, they need that. They need that. You have to allow a man to digress. If he can't digress with the fellas because they're gonna judge him, oh, man, tighten up with that, man. You should be able to come home to your girl and be like, man, like these folks trying me today, or I ain't make a good run and stuff, man, on my investments, or whatever the case may be. A man needs to get that emotional thing off his chest that's bothering him, or else it's gonna feed into what we see with men just sitting on the edge of the bed and stuff and just like, no, I'm good.
So what makes men emotionally unavailable then?
Not feeling like they have a space to share their emotions to their girl.
So you believe that when you're in the dating realm, you just have a lot of emotionally unavailable men due to the fact that they were in a relationship that they couldn't be vulnerable in.
It's not her. It's not always the girl in the current. A lot of times that could be from like past situations to where it's like, okay, trial and error. I already know I ain't finna do that again. I ain't finna do that. I'm not finna say nothing. I'm finna just be like, I'm Superman. But you have to have space in the vulnerability in relationships because vulnerability breeds trust.
Mm-hmm.
So if a man can't be vulnerable, then we have an issue in these relationships and dating because they feel misunderstood. There's a lot of misunderstandings going on. So a guy might go out here on a podcast and become red pill because it's probably some stuff he wish he could have said in all the relationships that he couldn't say. But now that it's over, he's like, well, now, sure, I'm just gonna go ahead and just say it. It's a market and an avenue for me to express what I really feel about dating and women. I'm gonna just say it, and that's how red pill was created.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It was created because of that. Whereas we like, and I'm just gonna use an example, like, babe, like if I'm working all day and you at home with the kid, like why you didn't just like fold the clothes and do the laundry and just make me something to eat?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't say that without pissing her off and she gonna judge you and go tell her homegirls. You know what I'm saying? So he just like, man, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna, and it's gonna come out in energy. It's gonna come out and then the sex, you know. Then now you got all these groups of people talking about they got sexless marriages. Sexless marriages is an emotion, it's a advanced version of a talking emotion. It's just intimate with body contact. So when people say they got sexless marriages, I already know that mean that you can't express yourselves when it's time to express yourselves because the part of the brain that associates arousal is not being satisfied through communication.
Mm.
So you're not gonna be able to like be horny when it's time to. And guess what? People gonna start looking at it in the closest proximity, which is where? Their jobs. That's where situationships and sneaking links was born at.
Mm.
See how this daisy chain thing going?
Mm-hmm.
Like you married, you got a good situation. Nah, I got this other girl pregnant because she always make me feel good. Like I can come talk to her. I can't because there's no expectations that with the girl at work. Like, man, let me tell you about what happened the weekend. You know, oh, I want to hit a T. That one. I want to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. And this thing, you know,
I ain't bad. I ain't bad.
she sees that vulnerability in you.
Mm-hmm. Now she's like, I like
Natural
him.
selection kicks in because women has natural selection, which means he's vulnerable. Vulnerability is a close cousin to what attraction. That she like. I'm like, man, you know what? Hey, these folk came in here. I'm gonna tell you about it. This is me and you. Matter of fact, like, what you doing for lunch? I want to go to Longhorn. Next thing you know, these are mini dates. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got like chemistry. Chemistry is formed. It might not be compatibility, but chemistry is gonna form from vulnerability. That's what chemistry comes from. Chemistry comes from being able to have a space to share with how you really think and how you view the world, how you process things to somebody who's sitting there willing to listen like a woman.
So what does being a man mean to you today?
A man today means being spiritually guided by God and my mission and my assignment, and everything else subordinate of that will latch on to me as I maneuver throughout society. So, for example, you have to know what you're here for as a man. What's your intention as a man? All men. Is it you can't just be out here just messing around, going to strip clubs here, out here trapping. You have to have a righteous moral intention as a man. The next thing is like losses, lessons, or however you want to call it, need to be spread out and shared to your brothers in arms, like cats that your same age, fellowship, and then pass down to the youth for lessons learned to keep them from making the same mistakes the OGs make. And then protecting, providing, and molding your household, your girl, being a guy that what she's attracted to without you having to constantly do it the manual way. Like if you slip up next week, she back to like, you losing me. I don't like you like that. No. I'm gonna need you to be on autopilot with this. I'm gonna need you to see.
Jason, we're gonna get out of here.
Go ahead.
What is something women misunderstand about the way men process emotions?
A lot of women misunderstand love for insecurity. Like
Explain.
if I want to know who you hanging out with, and this is the thing that come misunderstood. Not all women do that. Like if a girl go out with her friends on vacation or wherever, and her dude stay back or he's not involved, or even if he's there, he's gonna like what a lot of women misunderstand. It kind of goes back what I described earlier. Like a lot of women express themselves with jealousy, but when they just want your undivided attention. Women, people only like applaud women for that, but they don't applaud men want our own undivided attention, and but it can be processed as like controlling, you know. It can be processed. So it's a vast misunderstanding.
So you were saying that when a man says like where are you going, it may not be that he's controlling you. It could be the fact that that's his way of showing love because he wants to protect you.
Yeah, I'm just using that as an example. There's a lot of broad examples, but like anything that's going to be risky, if a guy really likes you and he already knows that he can trust you, just because he can trust you, he's still not gonna not want to know like you're gonna be okay. Just make sure you good tonight. Make sure, hey, you know how these cats is and stuff. It's just like insurance on your car. I don't care how good of a drive you say you is, this is still Atlanta. You can do everything right, still get T-bone. So the same way in relationships, you can do everything right, still get T-bone. You know. But they're like, you insecure? No, you're not gonna be able to name one guy who's not gonna care at some point what a girl doing, who they talking to, and why they doing what they do. That's just the way it is.
Okay, this is my last question.
Okay.
If a man is listening right now and feels like he does not know how to emotionally regulate, what would you tell him?
If you don't know how to emotionally regulate, I would tell him to look at the facts. Took it off. You got to look at the logic behind what she's saying.
You know it's on your shirt, right?
Well, there he is. There he is. There it is, logic. Because we as men, we always gonna like run into something your girl gonna say that you're not gonna like, and you're gonna have a emotional reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to respond logically, and that's another skill. It takes practice to do that, and maybe some counseling mentors from other guys who's made it over that hump to be able to be more of a diplomat to their woman. That's what we got to do as men: have a diplomatic approach or practice doing it. You know.
So let people know where they can follow and find you at.
So you can follow me at I am T.Walt on Instagram, where I provide some perspectives on a lot of broad things, relationships, health, wellness, and just thinking outside the box, critical thinking. And then YouTube at T. Walton, TikTok at the Black Superman. There you go.
And then Sideway Radio says, I would tell that man, you don't have as much control as you think, so just chill. That's what the comments is talking about. Well, as you know, I'm your girl Toya V. Please go and follow us at Logic Over Emotions Pod on Instagram so that we can go live there. Please check out our website, www.logicoveremotionspod.com. We have shirts.
Oh, yeah.
We have hats. We have different type of shirts, pockets, and we have hoodies. So check it out. You can go and get you some gear there and support the message. If you need any resources with your mental health, we do have a resource page on Logic Over Emotions Pod. I just want to let y'all know that men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide. So my call to action for you is whatever man you love, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your dad, your uncle, check on them. Ask them if they're okay. And if they're not, let them know that it's okay not to be okay. If you need any help going through a life crisis or feel suicidal, you can text 988 in the United States and they will contact you with someone that can actually help you through your crisis. So I will see you tomorrow. We got Mario Reyes coming in the building and we're going to talk about shared languages. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome because I think he's going to get really into why there's a communication issue with men and women. And we're going to go down the road. So I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you for tuning in. I love you